Hi guys and girls, and welcome to another episode of Kook Shed, a little show on YouTube where we share tips and techniques to do with surfing and bodyboarding, and I review products and tell you a little bit about them so that hopefully you can choose your products with a bit more confidence and know which ones are good and which ones that you might think about avoiding. Anyway, today we're going to talk about the Rip Curl Dawn Patrol wetsuits. Latest model, 2019/2020. And I've got both. I've got the 3x2mm steamer, and I've also got the 3x4mm thickness wetsuit. So generally I've avoided getting Rip Curl wetsuits in the past because of their price. I always thought that they were a little bit overpriced and that some of the features might be a little bit gimmicky. I'd heard, working in the surf shop, I'd heard a few people saying that their Rip Curl suits didn't last that long, and I just steered clear of them and bought other suits that I thought were better value for money, a little cheaper, that had similar features. But this time I picked up these Dawn Patrols. They were on sale, so I managed to get them a little bit cheaper than what I might have normally paid, so I thought I'd take a chance and try them out, and I was pleasantly surprised. My very first wetsuit way back in the day was a Dawn Patrol, and they've kept the Dawn Patrol line going, and basically the Dawn Patrol series is aimed at providing a quality suit for a reasonable price. So it's your basic base model wetsuit in the Rip Curl line, and then from there they add more features, and supposedly the wetsuits are warmer as you go up in the price tiers. But I started out with the 3x2 chest zip steamer, and I was pleasantly surprised. They fit really well, they work really well, and I couldn't really fault them. I've had a lot of different wetsuits. I've tried a lot of different brands and companies. Before these I was using Vissla. I've still got them, I still use them. But at the time I thought Vissla was the best value you could get. I'm going to throw up another review of Vissla suits later on, so keep an eye out for that on the channel. But yeah, Rip Curl, they really surprised me. I've had a few Peak made by Rip Curl, and I thought they were really good value too. They've got a lot of the same features that Rip Curl put in their wetsuits. They've just put it under a different brand to appeal to a different market, similar to Toyota and Lexus. They're the same company, but they brand, each brand appeals to a different market. So with Peak you're getting a Rip Curl wetsuit basically with the same craftsmanship and a lot of the same features. But we're not doing a review on Peak today, we're doing a review on the Dawn Patrol. So I've got the 3x4. It's still a bit damp because I've used it today. I used it this morning actually. But I've got it inside out so you can see what we're dealing with here is in terms of quality. So you've got this really nice warm inner lining on the chest, right down the legs, all the way to the bottom too. Some wetsuit companies on their base model, they'll stop that nice very warm insulation. They'll stop that at the legs, at the knees, whereas they've gone all the way down, which is a nice touch. It's around the sides as well. and yeah, same on the front. Look at the taping too. They've blind stitch, they've glued it, and then they've sealed it as well. They've taped all those seals, which is great. This is really good quality sealing as well. So like back in the day, for this much money, you weren't getting these sort of features. That's what I really love about the wetsuits that are coming out these days, is for the money you're getting a really high quality wetsuit that 10 years ago you'd be paying, you know, $600 for. Now you can get a really high quality suit packed with features for half that, if not less. We've also got, they've I'm not sure if you can see that, but they've put extra sealing on any high wear points where panels can be pulled apart by constant stretching. Like these are chest zip suits, so they go through quite a lot of stretching when you're pulling them over your head and trying to get in and out of them. So they've even bolstered up any stress points here. They've even chucked on some here. So they haven't, on the top, this is the arm, they haven't done the full taped sealing like on the legs, because it's above the water most of the time, and they figure it doesn't need it as much. Remember, this is the base suit, so if you went higher up in price, this seal would go all the way down, I'm guessing. But they've liquid sealed it as well, so that's great. You know, a lot of the cheaper suits have got flat lock seams, which aren't very good at keeping out water at all, and you do get a lot of fresh cold water entering the suit, and the warmer water warmed up by your body leaving the suit via the flat lock seams. Whereas they've actually on any areas that aren't taped, they've sealed them with liquid glue. So I've been really happy. I was that happy with the 3x2. Yeah, I went out and got the 3x4 as well for the early mornings, where I sort of can get down to as low as 12-13 degrees Celsius, like at the coldest, and the 3x4 will handle that quite well. You know, your feet and hands are going to get cold, and your head, but that's not this wetsuit's department. It keeps your body very warm. Keeps that thin layer of water in between the suit and you. It warms it up quite rapidly and keeps it warm. In fact, it takes a few minutes after you get in the water to even feel the water getting in at all. They're that well sealed up. One thing they've got that is handy is there's a panel on the back, and this panel helps keep you warm when you're waiting for waves. When you're sitting up on your board, the sun heats that. It also helps water disperse off the suit, whereas this neoprene will stay damp. This stuff will dry quite quickly, and so it allows that panel to keep you warm underneath there. It's only on the back in the Dawn Patrol. I mentioned on the more expensive ones it's on the chest as well, but you're buying the base suit, so you know some features are going to be limited. It's got a little key stash pocket there. Most wetsuits have got a key storage pocket in them these days. But there is one thing that I've got an issue with these wetsuits. Before I get into that, I've noticed some of the seals there, some of the joins, the stitching on the joins has discoloured there where the panels meet. I noticed, and that was like after the first 2 or 3 surfs. I noticed that wasn't like that when I got it. So that's just another thing. It hasn't affected performance in any way yet. It hasn't. The wetsuit hasn't deteriorated, or panels haven't come apart. But I've noticed on this particular 3x2, there's the stitching there is sort of discoloured. I'm not sure whether it's just gotten all salty or I don't know. But that's just one thing I've noticed, but it hasn't affected it. The one thing that bothers me is the zipper. A lot of other companies, I know Whistler's zippers, they'll zip from here, so you can just pull the zip and it's closed, and to open it and get out, you just zip it like that. It's always in both sides of the teeth, the zipper. Whereas on these Rip Curl ones, pardon me, even on the really expensive ones, I've noticed that they have this style of zipper where the mechanism is on one side and the tooth is on the other. Now that I've found can be quite annoying. Just the other day I had to get someone to help me do up the zipper. Down at the beach I had to ask another surfer to come and help because I could not get that to work. Now I rinse my wetsuits, I rinse the zippers, so it wasn't clogged with salt or sand or anything. It's just when it's on your body and it's quite snug and tight, it can be hard to get that tooth into that other side there. I've noticed it more with this one. Maybe it's just this 4x3, but I've definitely noticed that it's been a problem. I've tried sometimes up to 5 or 6 times to get it right. There seems to be, you just have to get it right in there, make sure it's right in there, and even then the angle has to be just right for that zip to start the run. Even now, like while I'm talking to you, it's quite difficult. Now if you've only got a short amount of time to go for a surf, or you want to get out there before everyone else does, you're in a hurry because it's good, the last thing you want to do is get stuck in the car park trying to get your zipper to work. And when you're paying for the Rip Curl brand, and you know some of these wetsuits are quite a lot of money, I just think it's unacceptable to have a zipper that could be much better and much more easy to use. O'Neill, I've had an O'Neill zipper, and they're the same as the Whistler. They start on the other side, and it's just as simple as the zip, and it's closed. I don't know why. Maybe there's a reason. It does eliminate the need. You'll sometimes see here, if the zips go on the other way on some other wetsuits, you'll see a little a button clip or something that will help keep that zip closed, whereas these guys have reversed it to keep that zip up there, and apparently it's got an anti-open lock mechanism in the zip or something like that to keep it from coming down. But no, I sincerely hope they fix that, because it's been quite a problem. I've even come to the point after the other day, I've even thrown another wetsuit in the car as a backup in case I couldn't get that zip closed. So that's how much it's been an issue for me. You might have a Rip Curl wetsuit and get no problems with them. Like I said, this one I've noticed hasn't been as much of an issue, but the 3x4 I've had a couple of times where it's definitely annoyed me. It could be because the suit's thicker and it's quite tight on my body, I don't know. But yeah, that's the only downside to the Rip Curl wetsuits that I've found. Everything else is great. Really good quality. Fits really well. So far, like I've worn them quite a lot, and they're showing no signs of of not doing their job as they should. Apart from the zipper and the these strange discolorations that I've started having on the joints there. But if you can get the zipper closed, they're still doing their job great. They're quite competitively priced. I think the 3x2 is about $350 recommended retail, and the 3x4 is about $379, so $380. So quite competitively priced for a rip curl. Normally rip curl stuff is right up there. So no, I've been quite impressed. Would I buy rip curl again? Yeah, I would. As much as that zipper is frustrating, I can't fault the actual warmth of the wetsuit, and that's where it counts for me. I want to be able to surf. Like sometimes I'm out there for nearly 5 hours at a time, and it's first thing in the morning before the sun's up. So I really want to know that the suit's going to keep me warm. That's one thing I've also noticed is this neck seals really well. I'm quite slim and I've got a skinny neck, so it seals really well. It's got give too, so if you've got a thicker neck, it'll have some give there. And I've noticed I haven't got any cold flushes of water. I've noticed it with other chest zip wetsuits. Sometimes you can get a cold flush of water in the side there. If you catch a bit of a wave on the wrong angle as you're paddling out, or going over a wave, sometimes you can get a really cold flush of water coming in there. Whereas these have been great. They're nice and tight, but they're flexible, really flexible actually. I remember when I first put on the 3x4, I thought, wow, for a really thick wetsuit, it's actually quite flexible and I could move really well. So that's pretty much it. If you've had any experience with the rip curl wetsuits, the Dawn Patrol in particular, let me know your thoughts. If you love them, if you hate them. I do like the minimal sort of branding on them. There's only really that there, and a little logo on the back, and they've really kept it to a minimum. I kind of like that. I don't really like the really pronounced logos and stuff. I just want something that's just going to do the job and not be all graphics all over it and stuff like that. So I like that too. If you like them, hate them, whatever, let me know in the comments. I've been pretty impressed with the Dawn Patrol. I think they're great value for money. They do the job well. You can go up more, spend a little bit more and get other features, but me personally, I like value for money, and I can't see any reason why I would need to go up. Now that I could be wrong, I could try one in future and go, wow, I've been missing out. What was I doing with those Dawn Patrols? I don't know. I'm open to learning, but at the moment, for me, this is where it's at. Very high quality suit. I just hope they fix that zipper problem. As always, rinse your wetsuit after using it. Rinse it in fresh water. Hang it in the shade to dry. Not in the sun, not in direct sunlight at all, because that will make these perish quite quickly and crack. As long as you take care of it, don't force the wetsuit on. I know they can be quite snug and tight when you first get them, but they do wear in. So try not to be too tough on them when you're getting in and out of them in the car park. And just take your time, and they should serve you well as long as you take care of them. Use a wetsuit wash maybe once a year on your suits. Keeps them nice and supple, especially these seals. This is the most important part, the sealing of the wetsuit to me, because that's where you first start to notice water come in. So if you wash them with the wetsuit wash you can get from a surf shop or whatever, keeps them nice and fresh and supple. It keeps those seams working, and you're laughing. One note on sizing, is when you try on wetsuits, I'm not sure if this is going to work on all sizes, but I'm a medium tall in wetsuits, quite tall and slender, but I've found if I go down one size, they're a bit snug for the first couple of weeks, but the neoprene is that good these days, it's that flexible that it wears in and it actually makes for a more snug wetsuit. I've always thought I'm medium tall, but I got a medium tall with another brand, and within a month of regular use, getting in and out of it and surfing every day, the legs and the arms got quite long. They stretched, and now they've got like rolls on them, and I think that's because the neoprene these days, it might be a different type of neoprene than these guys. You know, they've all got their different brand stuff, and I think this one was limestone based or something like that. But it got really stretchy and actually ended up bunching. So I went down a size, down to a medium, and after a month it fit like a glove. So I'm not sure if that's going to work for all sizes. Like if you're large and you go down to a large short, I don't know whether that's going to work, but it's worth considering because I have found it to be super handy. Now I'm still a medium tall, but I'll always now buy a medium because I know that it's going to stretch in. And so there's just the first month of it being pretty snug, but after that I've had no troubles whatsoever. The seams have kept their hold, there's no pressure on the wetsuit at all. So I don't know, if you're built like me at least and you're a medium tall, try a medium, because I haven't looked back. I'll only get mediums now, because back in the day the neoprene didn't have much stretch and it was pretty rough compared to what they're putting out now. So your sizing had to be bang on, but nowadays it's that good and flexible, it'll stretch to you. So that's my last tip of the day. Give it a try and see if it works for you. Alright, well I think that's about it for the Rip Curl Dawn Patrol. If you found this helpful in any way, hit like, leave a comment if you've got any questions and I'll do my best to answer them. And if you want to see more reviews or surf bodyboard tips, anything like that I come up with and throw on the channel, just hit subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you next time on Kook Shed. Thanks for dropping in. Catch ya.